Okay, I want to record my latest findings in self-research. Um, I was deciding this morning that the first girls I got interested in at age 13, there were two girls. One was Gloria Darnall, a girl that I didn't actually meet her. I saw her. She sat in front of me in Catholic instruction class at St. Bartholomew's Church, where I was going to take Catholic instruction because it didn't seem to be offered at Landon. It was offered there. And there I was with the public school Catholics who were going to go to Catholic instruction there. And Gloria Darnall was there, and she was ravishingly beautiful to me. So now, as I'm reflecting on what happened with her, I've now decided that America's Man of the Year had already started to prey on me sexually before I was 12, because there are certain indications that's true. One is the snowball fight at Landon, where I put snow over my enemy's face and held it over his nose and mouth as if to smother him. And I was a very nice kid. I never did things like that. And I did that uncharacteristically of myself. And after I did do it, I said to myself, I will never get in a fight again, because what I just did scares me. It shows me that these kind of fights can lead to somebody getting killed. So I never did get in another fist fight the rest of my life after that. Now, I'm saying that the reason I held snow over that guy's nose and mouth in that fight was because the Man of the Year had started to practice while I was asleep, putting ether over my nose and mouth. And when he first started, he may have covered up my nose and mouth with a cloth like that, so that was the result that came out in that fight with that boy. That's why I did that, because that was happening to me. So there's my first indication that at age 12, he was already starting to prey on me, and I think he was practicing with that ether. Now, here's another symbolic component to him starting around age 12 and 13. When I was around that age, 12 and 13, suddenly a man is going to come into my room, okay, and sleep. He's going to use my room to sleep. Symbolically, what do you have? A man is going to be in my room? Oh, what's that symbolic of? I don't have to say. The sexual abuse that was starting to happen. Okay, so that happened as well. And the fact that man came into our house that way, this was completely uncharacteristic of that father. He was nobody to give to charity, man. He had no sympathy for anybody because he felt like he had it worse than any human being that ever lived. If anybody was going to get charity, it was going to be him. He wasn't going to give to any charity. People needed to give to him. That's the way he looked at it. He had it so rough. The poor boy from the coal mines and the rest of it. So this man coming into my room like that, that's symbolic of him starting on me and others noticing and requiring some kind of payment from him that he's really a good guy. He's not doing something evil at home. So they usher this guy toward him. Hey, he needs help. This man needs help. Put him in your son's room, symbolically, like what you're doing with your sexual abuse. You're going into the son's room too. How about this man? Let him in. So there's that symbolism. Now, Gloria Darnall, when I see her at that school, she shows curiosity about me. She's looking at me with curiosity. But as I'm now admitting to myself, 60 years later, I'm saying, from what I know of women, had she been interested in me, she would have shown it. by smiling and saying hi and so on, which she did not do. And along with that, within like 2 weeks of me staying in that class, I was pulled out of that class because suddenly Landon was going to offer Catholic instruction. So my mother takes me out of that class, and I'm no longer going to see Gloria Darnall. However, this is what happens. The Lord has lessons for me here, the way he did later with Kate Zener. What happens? Every morning when my mother's driving me and my brother to school, at the exact moment we hit the intersection of Mary Knoll and Wilson Lane, there she is every morning at that intersection. And she sees that I'm there in the car. Does she wave and smile and say hi? She does nothing of the kind. She sees me, she doesn't wave, she doesn't smile. So, what did I feel? I felt when I saw her at moments like that, this is the bizarre feeling I had. World War II. That was the feeling that came over me. War. World War II is going to happen for me. I'm going to be in the war. Where did that come from? That's the feeling that came over me when I saw her. You know where it came from? It came from the man of the year who was probably using his having been in that war as some kind of justification for him to do what he did to me, because probably the men on that ship he was on were doing that to each other during the war. Probably. So, that's where the association with the war came from. I'm asleep at night and he's preying on me, and that's how it comes out in my mind. Because he's probably being very rough with me when he's abusing me that way, and so that's what happens. That's how it manifests itself in my mind. There's the association between sexual attraction to a woman and the abuse I was enduring, symbolized by this bizarre feeling that comes over me. War. World War. I'm in the war. I'm going to be in the war. The war is all around me. Okay? So there's that. Now, I'm saying Gloria Darnall was meeting up with me almost every morning at that intersection. Did she ever wave to me or smile or anything? She didn't. So, from what I know of women, she was not interested. And why wasn't she? She wasn't interested because of what I've said. I was being sexually abused, and that made women not be interested in me. Now, I would guess that people who are deeply versed in sexual abuse, they may be able to back me up on this. I don't know. I don't know what the experience of other men who have been sexually abused is. I don't know anything about that at all. All I know about it is it's not reported, usually. So there's very little known when I looked into it in the 1980s. The only thing I found was a study in Israel about the tension in the anus being less in gays than in heterosexual men. If you measured that tension somehow, you find that men who had been indulging in sex in that part of their anatomy had loosened up that part of their anatomy, and it did not have the tension, the tightness that the anus of heterosexual men who had not indulged in that kind of sex had. That's the only thing I found, and I found like an article saying that no one will report this kind of abuse. It's too shameful, and everybody's quiet about it. So virtually nothing is known. Have things changed since then? I wouldn't know because I haven't looked into it. So I'm saying Gloria Darnall showed no interest in me. I've told the story about Diane Weiner, the next door neighbor, only a year older than me, who also showed absolutely no interest in me. And right in front of me, she's showing me that she's got herself all dolled up and dressed up to perfection. And she's looking sexy as hell. And what's she going to do? She's arranging to walk around the block so she can walk past this guy who she wants to ask. She wants him to ask her to the prom. So she's going to all this extent to attract this guy, and that's what a woman will do. If she wants you, she'll show you. And Gloria Darnall showed nothing of the kind. Now, here's another example. The only other woman who came into my life at that time was Cindy Scribner, a girl who lived near a friend of mine who was not much of a friend. I didn't care much for him, but he was a kind of a friend. I don't know why I was even friends with that guy. But anyway, this girl lived near him, and she had a sister who was quite attractive, but she herself was not attractive to me at all. Now, I asked her to a party together at Landon. I was age 13, and my mother drove us to the party, and I've told the story about how we're at the party like 15 minutes, and then they say, let's go out in the back in the bushes. And everybody goes out in the back, and everybody diverges this way and that way to get behind bushes somewhere and make out. And they all do that instantly. Well, I'm with this girl, and I'm saying to myself, I felt no attraction to her at all. Now, I had already experienced orgasmic feelings from the age of like 5. So I was capable of sexual feelings, and I was attracted to women, even though I wasn't sexually mature. I was already in delayed maturation, but I could still feel and be attracted to women. And what I'm saying is, this woman, Sydney Scribner, she showed no interest in me at all. She went to the party. She was as cold as a fish. Did that happen with my wife when I wanted to kiss my wife years later? It did not. My wife warmed up to me in a way to make the kiss work, to make me want to kiss her and have the kiss work perfectly when it happened. So, what have I learned about women? If they want to kiss you or if they want to have something to do with you, they're going to show you. And if they don't, they're not going to show you. So, why didn't Cindy Scribner show me that she was interested in me? I was a great athlete. I was a great student. I was a highly liked boy. I was very popular everywhere, among teachers, among my peers, among everybody. I was successful. I was a star. She was as cold as a fish. Why? From what I've been saying, I was being sexually preyed upon, and that made me unattractive to her. That's the reason. So, it's taken me 60 years to realize this, and there it is. That's what I was realizing in the wee hours of last night, and I've now recorded my findings here. After all these years, it's now clear to me that the man of the year had started to prey upon me for real with ether when I was around the age of 12 or before. And already I was becoming a curiosity to women, but something they didn't want to have anything to do with. And there it is. Today is the 7th of May, 2026, and the time is 11:27 a.m. Okay, I thought I was recording. I don't think I was, so I'll repeat what I just said. It says I got hackers in my phone here. In the United States are lies, okay? You're liars to me. So I thought I had the phone recording. It wasn't recording. I'll re-record what I just said. I just said that if there are professionals out there who are going to say that delayed maturation does not necessarily cause a person to have problems in relationships with women, even at a young age, they'll still have amicable relationships or even sexual with women, even though they're in delayed maturation. That the women are understanding of this kind of thing. And it's not an impassable barrier for people who suffer delayed maturation. So they'll say, you've got a severe mental disease. That's why you had trouble with women and men too. And I'm saying that is not true. What I'm saying is being male raped while asleep and etherized, that is what caused me the problem with women. And it probably caused me the delayed maturation as well. And what it did with women and men as well was make me seem like a curiosity at best, and at worst, some kind of a weirdo who was hiding very bizarre aspects to my life, which I wasn't doing. And that was causing me to be rejected by women and by men as well. So, once again, I want to repeat, if there are professionals out there who are going to say that delayed maturation does not necessarily cause relationship problems between young boys and young girls, the girls are understanding because we all hear, right, that women don't care what a man looks like. So, a hairy chest and big muscles and a long dick at age 13 is not what necessarily going to get a woman to like you, okay? She don't care about those things we hear. Don't care about that at all. So you're in delayed maturation, the woman doesn't give a damn. We would assume from what we hear about women. So, once again, there you are. If that's true, that's further proof that I was male raped the way I say I was. And that is what created the problem for me. Everything I'm saying here about what happened, that nobody understood and that I was punished for. Okay? I was male raped while asleep and then punished by everybody across the years for that having happened. On the point that I believe I was misunderstood by others, okay? When I finally got around to a woman who understood me, I was 25 years old, and the woman was who? A Nazi concentration camp survivor, 27 years older than I was. Now, I worked at this woman's elbow for 2 years, alone pretty much with her, while I was getting my master's degree in American literature. So I had a part-time job. She was my supervisor, and we worked together for 4 or 5 hours every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And over those 2 years, being at her elbow as I was, and not knowing that she was a German concentration camp survivor at all, until those 2 years had played out, when she was attempting to be friends with me, here are the kind of things she was telling me. She was marveling that I did not have a girlfriend. And she was saying to me things like, I cannot believe that the women here let you get by. I cannot believe this. Because, I said, no, I don't have a girlfriend, and I've never had one. I'm looking for one, but I can't find one. The women, they just don't seem to want me. And she said to me, I cannot believe, and she's perfectly honest, that the women have let you get by like this. I don't know how it happened, okay? Now, what did she say about her daughter, who was my age, as far as her daughter's choice of a man? Her daughter would say this about the boy she had chosen to be her future husband. She wasn't married to him yet, but here's what she used to say about the boy she had chosen. As far as their relationship went, here's what she said. She said, he has no choice in the matter. Meaning, she had chosen him, and she was going to make sure that he was going to be hers no matter what. He had no choice in the matter. So, from what I've seen of women, having had sisters myself, and seen friends of my sisters, and been out there in the world as a literary major, reading novel after novel, watching movie after movie, I gotta say that the preponderance of evidence supports what I'm saying about myself, that I was being misunderstood, and it was not because of anything I was doing. I was being misunderstood because, as I said, I had been sexually abused on an atrocity level while growing up, and I didn't even know it because I had been being kept asleep with ether and raped while asleep. It took me a lifetime to figure this out, but this weird happening often got me accused by others of somehow hiding something. I was some kind of a con man who was hiding things from others, and I never was hiding anything. People who know me, they know I'm honest to a fault. That is a big problem that I have. I'm so honest. It's a problem for some people. So I was never hiding anything, and yet this is how I seem to others. And I seem so much that way to others that others didn't trust me, and they did feel there was something very weird about me when there wasn't anything weird at all. And it took 2 years at the elbow of a Nazi concentration camp survivor for me to hear at the age of 25 from this person that in her opinion, I had been grossly misunderstood by women in the United States. She said, I cannot believe what you're telling me about yourself. So I just want to say that on my own behalf and on my own defense, since I have been accused not only of hiding things and of being a con man, which I'm not, but the accusations have been far worse than that, and I'll just stop for now.